Good evening. I would like to welcome you all to the proceedings of the Grand Rapids Public Schools Board of Education. It is Monday, June 5. I would welcome you to rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shotke, will you please take the roll?
Absolutely. Ms. Slade. Present. Dr. Baker.
Here.
Dr. Flores.
Present.
Ms. Grant.
Present.
Ms. Lewis.
Present.
Reverend Matias.
Present.
Mr. Ross.
Present.
Ms. Shotke here. President Falb.
Present.
We're all here.
Do I have a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. And we have celebrations.
Thank you, Dr. Falb and members of the board. I would ask Dr. Ron Gorman to come forward, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Superintendent Weatherall Neal, President Falb, with distinguished members of our Board of Education. Joining me here this evening are City High Principal Dr. Michael Pasco and the hardest working coach in forensics and debate, Mr. Bill Harris. In a few moments, they will be sharing some of the many forensics accomplishments from the 2016-2017 school year tournaments, as well as the many accomplishments from the state championship. As you will soon hear, the results are quite remarkable, as novice students, 9th graders, and veteran students, 12th graders, brought back many trophies to City High Middle. So with that, Dr. Pasco.
Good evening, Superintendent Neal and board members. Thanks for having us and taking time out to celebrate the accomplishments of our coach, but more importantly, the accomplishments of our students at City and the forensics team. So I don't know if everyone knows this, but Bill is a parent alumni. He had a daughter graduate from City class of 99.
Yep.
Okay. He took over in 2011. We now have 9 different programs, 4 at the middle school, 5 at the high school. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's right.
This past year, we had over 90 students participate. I'm going to assume that was forensics, debate, and Model UN collectively, which is about 10% of our
These are
student
unique
body.
students.
Okay.
These are not, this is not just a mess. These are 90
All right,
different
you're going to
students.
get your turn, okay? Just- I know you're ready to go. So this past year, they took home 5 team trophies, 17 individual awards, which is amazing. Bill took 11 students to the state championships, 9 of which participated in either Model UN or debate. Funds for the program typically come through our PTSA, which we raise. I've offered him a stipend every year, which he's declined annually. So not only is he the hardest working, he's the most underpaid coach that we have, but that's his own decision. He does it purely out of his passion and his heart for not only City, but for our program and for our students. So we really appreciate that. So having said that, William Harris.
Hey, well, thank you. First off, I want to have one other person who should be sitting next to me, only because Nate, stand up, and this is, you want to bring the other big trophy, the big honking trophy, because we said we had to bring a big honking trophy because, you know, like trophies, it's just nothing without Bill Glasser. Nate you graduated 09, okay. The City High graduated 09, and since he's come back from teaching English in France, he's been helping out with the program and has been an invaluable second coach, second organizer, oftentimes the person who's more organized than I am. And so we wouldn't have the program that we have without Nate's help. And so thank you very, very much, Nate.
And that was Nate's trophy?
No. We won, as we said, we won 5 team trophies. We brought 2 of them. This is from Battle Creek, a second place trophy at Battle Creek, and this is the first place trophy at Grand Rapids Christian. There's another one that Maya said we should have brought, and I should have. The third place trophy from Walled Lake. Walled Lake is the biggest tournament in the state, and so we should have had that up here, and that would be another one right about that size right there, all blue and silver. Okay, what do we say about this? It's a privilege to work with kids. It's a privilege to see how they grow. We have programs, as you know, from middle school through high school. 9 of the kids who competed this year at state had been part of our middle school program. So we have a really big pull through on this program. And working with this program, there are 3 goals that basically I have for our students, things that I want them to learn to take with them off into the world. And it's not just simply how to be a nice speaker up in front of an audience and speak extemporaneously, though they could all do that. It's 3 other things. 1, we want our students to have a sense of self-possession, to know that who they are, as they are, and however they define themselves, that is a good thing. That's the very basic building block of all accomplishment, is to know that who you are is valued, and that you value yourself as that. And that's, it expresses itself as self-confidence and all that, but that's a key point. The second part that we want our students to know is to learn how to learn to use the tools that they have, and especially the emotional tools that they have to communicate. Because communication is not just simply words and ideas, but it's oftentimes being aware of the emotions, the impact that we have. So we want kids who not are in self-possession, but who also have an idea about who they are and what the self-understanding about what they possess to do this thing. And as we go along, we learn these tools more and more. And the last one, the most obvious one, is that we do this out of a sense of impact. We want to have an impact, whether we are performing something or we're arguing something. We want to have an impact that changes the audience, that makes a point, that establishes a new way of thinking. And again, we've had just immense privileges that have taken place. So those are the 3 things that we basically work with in the program. Now, challenges. I do want to speak about a challenge. 1, I want to see even more students of color be involved in this, and not just at City High, though that's a challenge, but at our other schools. Because these skills shouldn't just be set apart because you live in the right zip code. One of the models that I've had for this program has been actually the James Logan School in California, which comes from a very lower middle class environment, and it has been highly successful about working with students of color and broadening it out. If on the national level, students of color do participate. In Michigan, not so much. So I want to change that. I think that I have a project in mind with the Student Advancement Association about how we can expand student opportunities for kids in our high schools across the board. That's a key thing. So what we do here at City, and it's really cool, is only part of a bigger process, a bigger vision of what we might be able to do for our students at our other high schools as well. And I want to see that happen. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing. The state accomplishments, we do need to recognize them, and there are 2 of them here. First, Will Kelly, who's a senior. Right, you can stand up. Yep. Okay. Will was a finalist at the state tournament. He took 2nd place in broadcasting. So, Will, thank you very, very much. And the other champion is Rose Gerson, right there. And Rose is a 9th grader, and she was 1st in the state in storytelling. So again, thank you very, very much. And actually gave me $5 to keep talking, so he would get the award.
Why don't we have all of them
And
stand
I
up
think,
and
and I think,
recognize
and
them?
I think we should have all set. So this is the team. Basically.
You know.
And-
Congratulations. Great job. Congrats, good job. Great job.
What was your top?
Congratulations. Mark, going, good job.
Hey, congratulations on National Merit.
It's for your help.
Thank you so much for everything.
Good job. Thank you.
Actually, you have his contact information.
Yeah,
I would like that.
it's good. Wendy, I want to make a thing. Okay.
We want to see more students.
Maya's dad has something to say. Dr. Baker?
Indeed.
Real quick, a quick statement. First of all, I don't know what forensics is except for,
People up.
CSI, so anyway, that's my sense of it. And I got to know, Mr. Helser. I'll say this about Maya Baker's performance, and it got me a sense of it. So when I first got to see her perform, I'm not going to ask you to perform it, but anyway, it's really good. It would be, everyone here would enjoy it. But, so at the end of it, I got this sense of what Bill was saying, self-possession, using the tools to communicate, and then impact. And so, the first time I saw Maya do it this year, I had tears going down my face, and I'm sure it cost her score, so she might have gotten a bigger trophy that year. But as a result, it was pretty impressive. But I have to say that when they go to these competitions, we get this sense that this isn't, at most of the schools across the state, these are not after-school programs. These are in-school programs with a full-time staff member who are teaching kids to do this. Mr. Harris is doing this, for his own passion, obviously, as Principal Pasco said. But I do know that it sounds like the students would like to say something to you, Mr. Harris. So anyway.
Cheers.
We just wanted to show our deep appreciation for all that you've done for us as a team and for over the years. So we got you a little something for yourself or for the team or whatever you want.
Oh, nice job, Maya.
You can stay and watch our skills at communication.
Forensics got me to where I am right now.
So we'll let them leave.
Thank you all.
Good job, you guys.
Good job, guys.
Very nice, Carol.
It's amazing that other districts is during the day, and then ours is after-school volunteer, and they still. Imagine if we got it during the day, what we could do. That's great. Amazing. President Faub, I would ask Sharon Pitts to come forward, please.
Good afternoon. I have the honor
and pleasure of beginning the introductions of our employees who have been with us for 40 years. It's amazing that they have, and they have been some incredible, incredible folks. And so we've asked them to come and their supervisor to come and give a few brief words about our fantastic employees. And so the first is we're asked Stephanie Villalta to come down and talk about Marianne Bowman, a special education teacher. Ms. Bowman here? Yes, so we need her too.
I've never done this before.
And
Thank you for having us tonight. It is an honor to be here this evening to present to you an amazing teacher with 40 years of dedicated service to Grand Rapids Public Schools. Ann Bauman has been a special education teacher at several different locations throughout the district, including Lincoln Developmental Center, Center at Van Auken, Eastern Elementary, Southside Learning, Ridgemore, and most recently, Kenosha Park Elementary. I have had the pleasure of working with Ann at Kenosha Park Elementary for the past 4 years. And moreover, while I did not work directly with Ann every day, I have sat in on some of her IEPs, and it is very obvious how much Ann cares about the students she services as well as their families. She's very precise in all of her work, and she has also volunteered to help with several of the elementary evening events at our building, which makes her an asset to multiple programs. So we're very appreciative of that. I have enjoyed getting to know such an amazing teacher and feel proud to call her a GRPS colleague. I wish her all the best in her future endeavors, and I know she will be missed by students and families, and hopefully she will enjoy her retirement.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have Principal Roderick Wade here with Marianne Harris, our head counselor.
Good evening.
good evening.
Superintendent Neal, President, board members. I'd like to thank you for this honor tonight, and I'm extremely privileged to be here in the presence of Marianne Harris, who joined the district in 1977 as elementary teacher, then a principal, elementary counselor, and since '06 has been with us at Alger Middle School. I'm excited to be working with her. She just wanted me to make it real clear. She's not retired. Did I do good? All right. But we were able to celebrate with her today with our staff. Just to keep in mind, Marianne Harris is very active in the community with her church, her sorority. She's a Delta, and she loves it. Uh-oh. But really passionate about kids and really insightful and caring. Works hard, works every day, shows up every day with a smile on her face, and we're excited to see her, and she keeps grinding, and I appreciate you, and thank you for being at Alger, and thank you for being you, and I appreciate being here to honor her in her 40 years.
Next, we have Ken Comparents, who's here to give a few words on behalf of Fred Myers, our Facilities and Operations Manager.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to recognize Fred Myers. While we're here to celebrate being here 40 years, Fred actually has surpassed that because he started as a summer employee for GRPS 3 years prior to that. But upon coming to GRPS, Fred has worked through the ranks, starting from custodian to head custodian 1, 2, 3, to building manager 1, 2, 3, to sector leader, to operations supervisor, to currently Fred is our manager of facilities and oversees all maintenance and operations and grounds through the district. And Fred is one of our employees who gets it. He constantly talks about the real reason we're here is for the kids. And I really appreciate that. I can tell you, when I first came to JRPS, within a couple weeks, I was called to a meeting where someone was trying to sell us a program on how to clean buildings and monitor and have a process. And as I left, Fred pulled me aside outside and said, "Don't buy that." He said, "I've already developed it and am implementing at Union, and we can do it district-wide. We don't need to spend money, we can do it ourselves." And that's the kind of loyal employee Fred is, and I really appreciate him, and congratulations on 40 years.
And last but not least, we have a final special 40-year employee, our superintendent, Teresa Weatherall Neal. And
Who's your supervisor?
we did ask Larry Johnson to come down and say a few words, if the superintendent will allow us.
I will, and I also have 42 years in because I started as a student, and it counts.
Good evening, Board President, Superintendent Weatherall Neal, remaining board members. So on behalf of the district and Weatherall Neal, who has served the district in various capacities. Thank you, Julie.
This is your approved comment.
That's right. That's right. Don't talk off the script, right? John trained me very well.
She's threatened all of us, so we better stick to the
So she has hired in 1977 by the district. She has served in various roles, including administrative assistance, coordinator of compliance, the co-director of Community and Student Services, the assistant superintendent to Community Student Affairs, the interim superintendent, and then currently in her current position as the superintendent. I'd like to thank you for your dedication to the children of this community as well as to the staff, and congratulations on 42 years with the Grand Rapids Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
So unlike the previous person, this is definitely not a retirement.
Yeah. You'll be the first to know on that.
And I remember when that was.
That's right.
I was working for the district when you were
1975.
you were at Creston, a student.
I would once again ask Sharon to come forward. Sharon, do you want to just share a little bit about the edu staff? I think that's important. Mickey, not real sure. Sharon. The edu staff.
Could you come down?
Yeah.
This is incredible, and I'll explain more about it, but one of our very own substitute teachers has received an award, which we're very proud of. So Clark Galloway from EduStaff, the CEO of EduStaff.
Yes, and thank you very much. This is going to be a hard act to follow after that. Superintendent, Board President, Board, Grand Rapids Public Schools, teachers, students, this is pretty much a delight for me as the President of EduStaff to come in here and present this annual award that we present to our substitute teachers. when we consider the fact that our relationship with Grand Rapids Public Schools is going to be going on 3 years now, and it's, we hold a contract with the school district to provide substitute teacher services and some other employee groups, and we hold contracts with over 300 of Michigan's 500-plus school districts. So out of a almost 70% penetration of the state of Michigan for substitute services, we employ almost 30,000 people that fill 17,000 positions a day. I say those numbers to show gravity to the next award that's going to be presented, because this is no small endeavor for this individual who's been serving and serving with excellence. Each year, we ask our school districts to give us information on some of the best of your best and begin lobbying for your candidate, and give us information back on various aspects of what this particular substitute has done for you and in your classroom. This particular substitute is one of 800 people that I signed certificates with. I've now shortened my last name, and I've got carpal tunnel. We had 800 people that we physically honored this year with certificates. The top 100 got individual letters from me. The top 50 got letters and gift certificates to Applebee's. And our top 1 gets to be honored today in front of you today. 19 of your teachers filled out a lengthy form and had lots and lots to say about this individual. So with that, if you don't mind, I'm going to stand and I'm going to call Esther McCall to come forward. Now, we just can't leave it at that. We'll go quick. I will tell you this, that Esther started her professional career working in accounting and automotive, same place I got started. Spent almost 25 years in accounting and various endeavors in trucking and automotive. Got her business administrative degree in marketing management, master's degree in business management, healthcare. 2 sons, 2 daughters-in-law, 2 granddaughters, 2 grandsons. She loves to read, she loves movies, and she loves to watch her favorite television programs at home. We could spend some time together. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yep. But you know, what's interesting is here's what some of the teachers had to say about Esther. She enjoys making a difference in students' lives. To be able to take joy to make a difference, that's amazing. Definitely a pleasure to work with, and always has a positive attitude. Can you imagine having it always turned on all the time? Students and staff simply love her. These are the things that your teachers are saying about the substitute teacher. She clearly cares about kids. Hard to find people who clearly care about children. A true asset to our team, which means you've taken ownership of her within your team. A willingness to do whatever is necessary to get the job done. I'm just taking notes from 19 different people here. She never calls in sick and is always prepared. Now, if that happened on the other side, you wouldn't have a job. Always there when needed. The very best substitute teacher our building has ever had. That's probably the best comment that could physically surface from 19 people. So, Esther, we get an opportunity once a year to present an award, and we don't take this lightly. This award is called the Michigan Substitute Teacher of the Year Award. We present this to one substitute every year. This is the first one in West Michigan this year, and your teachers have nominated you. And we just take joy in the service, the excellence, and the wholeheartedness that you bring to the classroom. I want to thank you very much for your gift of service to the school. Awesome.
Wow, we see it's happy.
Look next to them. Next to them, on the right. On your right.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Scott, right?
Yes, Frankie.
What's she doing here? Is she friends with somebody?
Frankie's.
I know our
Spent
daughter's
6
here.
years on my son.
Really?
She's resistant.
Her daughter used to, so I don't know. Wonder if she's here with us, with the. Really? She's a sorority sister.
I think there were some real contenders tonight.
Great. We'll have that discussion on Thursday. Dr. Gorman.
So I believe our, Dr. Gorman informed me that school is out for our student reps, so do we have any public comment for board agenda items?
No, we do not.
Then the secretary's report.
Great, all right. Well, students at the Grand Rapids Public Schools will have half-days attending in the morning on June 12 through 14, 2017. The last official day of the 16-17 school year is Wednesday, June 14, 2017. Congratulations, everybody. Board committee meeting schedule updates. The Ad hoc Policy Committee is scheduled for Tuesday, June 13 at 12:30 p.m. We'll meet in room 101. The Academic Achievement Committee is scheduled for Tuesday, June 20th at 9 a.m. right here in the auditorium. And a reminder of Movies in the Park. For the third year in a row, Grand Rapids Public Schools will be sponsoring Movies in the Park. The district will be the title sponsor for 2 movies this year that begin at 7 p.m. at Anabuin Park, located at 220 Front Avenue Northwest. The 2 movies are Friday, July 21st at 7 p.m., Book of Life, and a change of date for Zootopia on Friday, July 28th, again also at 7 p.m. There are great new features for Movies in the Park, like a new LED screen, 2 showings each night, and a new layout. This is free to the public. If you have any questions, please contact our communications department. That's Kyle Prey at 819-2149. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee chair updates. Reverend Matias, Academic Achievement.
Well, we're meeting June 20th as was stated, but in our last meeting, there was an update for some of the councils and legislative. And so I have a really good team of our board members that are serving, so I really appreciate that.
Great. Ad hoc policy?
Yeah, I think if it's all right with you, I'll do a description of each policy as we move through them, but just a high-level overview for the board. You don't have any brand-new policies in front of you tonight. These are all existing policies that have been amended or condensed, so I'll give you further descriptions as we go through them.
And Dr. Baker, Finance Committee?
Yes, the last meeting, we just reviewed the expected budget, which we reviewed the procedures for rolling out the expected budget for next year. The board had a work session earlier today and got an initial update on that. We will have a public hearing on June 19th at 6 o'clock, and then expected to vote at 6:30. The finance team is making recommendations in anticipation of what hopefully will happen in Lansing. Still some things that could occur that would change it, but we're proceeding with a budget that hopefully won't change much between now and the 19th. And that's it. And then we should discuss whether or not we need a late June meeting after that, but we'll leave that up in the air in case we do need it. So, okay, that's it.
Thank you. Superintendent's report.
I would ask John Hemholt to come forward, please. Brevity is best.
Hey, I'll keep it brief. Madam Superintendent, President Full, members of the board. The superintendent asked me to come and talk about some of the events that are happening this summer, as well as the district office hours. So the district business hours will be 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday, starting June 19th through August 18th. District will be closed for business on June 23rd, June 30th, July 7th, 14th, 21st, 28th, and August 4, 11, and 18. Some of the upcoming events that are happening include every Tuesday in June, July, and August, GRPS is partnering with Garfield Park Neighborhood Association for Story Time in the Park. We have Rock the Block and Lids for Kids this Saturday. You have the Movies in the Park. That's another thing that we're sponsoring. On July 21st is the Book of Life, and July 28th is Zootopia. Tuesday, August 1st is National Night Out, and we are sponsoring all of the different National Night Out events. And then Saturday, August 12th, we have the Kingdom Life Ministries Carnival and the El Informador Backpack giveaway. And last but not least, our back-to-school celebration at John Bull Park Zoo is Thursday, August 17th.
Great. We have several action items tonight. The first one is a resolution to approve and reauthorize the contract for the Charter Grand Rapids Child Discovery Center Public School Academy. Do I have a motion? Do you have something to say about that?
Well, I would like for Sharon Pitts and Rick Noel to come up,
Okay,
just in case
awesome.
the board members have questions.
Does anyone have any questions regarding this resolution?
Well, I do. It's this, that we are chartering the school. Is that correct? It's not a regular part of our,
It's our only school that we
Okay.
are chartering.
Can you get, just for a new board member, just what is Child Discovery Center and its relationship to Grand Rapids Public Schools and how long it's been in existence?
I don't know how long it's been in existence.
That's a really good question about the length, and I'm going to
Yes.
ask someone to help me with
Yes,
that if
because
they
I'm
can.
not sure.
because That's,
It was like,
Early-
no,
it was- yeah.
early 2000, no,
no, it was
90s?
earlier than that. It was early 90s.
Yeah.
when it started out.
Early 90s.
Based in the Rogelio model, which is in some ways similar to a Montessori program. And so I serve as the board liaison to their board, so I sit in on all of their meetings and work with them to guide them in terms of presenting good outcomes for kids. So it's been, I think it's the early 1990s.
so we have always worked with them, but we've not chartered them. This is the first time we're chartering them?
The charter has existed from the beginning.
All right, okay.
This is a reauthorization. Every 3 years, we consider a reauthorization of the charter based on their compliance with their charter school contract, our agreement, and the ascertainment of their educational goals. And
What grades does it cover?
It's kindergarten through sixth grade.
6, okay.
And so there are just two things that I did need to bring to your attention. One is that I'm going to add our additional non-discrimination language, which they have agreed to, because right now they just cite federal and state statutes, and as you all know, our anti-discrimination language goes beyond that in the area of gender identity, expression, sexual orientation. If pregnancy is a federal law, but they didn't cite that, but I'm going to add that too. And the only other significant, well, it's not even really a significant, it's a language change that pretty much is consistent with what has been done there, but with a little twist. They, as you know, the charter employees comply with certain aspects of the GREA collective bargaining agreement. They have asked for that agreement to apply solely to the classroom teachers, and so they have proposed that as a change. Any questions about that? Okay. And we have Mr. Noel, Dr. Gorman have vetted their academic goals and their proposal for reaching that, and have both indicated that
That's correct.
they believe that they are sufficient and sufficiently aggressive.
I was going to add that word, efficiently aggressive.
All right.
Yeah, can you, what did the impact is of the other employees of the school not being represented?
Well, that allows them to hire whoever they want
Right.
for
I mean,
those.
for what positions, how many?
The wraparound services, they don't have very many. I mean, in fact, we had an issue before because we couldn't staff their special ed psychologists, and so we went back and forth and had a big issue about the hiring of someone for just an isolated child or two. So that is area, and then the other, they don't have very many other people, but maybe the custodian or whatever they have that might be there. It's a small, it's a small program.
I see we're not approving their board at this point, are we, or is it all one?
Yes, you are, because I submitted the resumes, and you
Okay.
all would need to say that those people would be sufficient, because after this, we have to submit all of these documents to the state. This contract, the attachments, which include an exhaustive checklist, and one of those things is that you all have reviewed their board selections and feel that they're
Okay,
sufficient.
that's good. Sometimes we've done those in separate
Separately.
actions, so.
But we're trying, before we were kind of behind the game, now we're trying to have it done before the actual expiration of their contract. So we're getting better.
Couple of questions. One, are the employees then our employees? We hire them?
No, they're their employees.
They're their employees?
They're employees. We do not hire them. We have no employee-employment relationship with them whatsoever.
Okay, and then I find of interest, Article 8, on operating requirements, Section 82B.
Okay. Let me get to that.
It also, Section 82A refers to a legal reference that says Academy Board shall comply with requirements in contracts with public servants with public entities. Is that just applied to charter school academies, or?
Yes, just the charter school academies, because they have their own section in the school code. And they have much more flexibility, obviously, than a
Okay.
traditional school system does.
Okay.
So the teachers don't get tenure, the teachers don't have any job security?
That's correct. They don't anyway, under our current, the charter school law. But one of the things that they do have to do, which we feel is important, is that they do have to comply with our salary schedule. So, and a few other things, but mostly.
What's in it for us? Just, what are the benefits to the public, Grand Rapids public? Just curious.
I think I'm just going back to history way before I was on this board, but my sense is that the original intent of charter schools was to pilot a new concept, a new model of education, in which the Amelio Reggio certainly falls within that. And so that's what's with a little bit more freedom and flexibility than if it was part of the regular district. But, yeah, probably could be a longer discussion maybe at another time.
Well, and I do think it's important that the board and the executive director they're very intentional around sharing with families the educational options for when their time at Child Discovery Center ends, so that they really encourage their families to take a very serious and deep look at Grand Rapids Public Schools, and it really becomes a feeder for us in many ways. And they speak very complimentary to about our staffs and about our programs. So I think that's kind of an incidental benefit as well.
Yeah, the relationships definitely seem more embedded in terms of that kind of stuff. And it is a history. I mean, even though we have rejected discussions of further charter schools, we have continued to accept this, but it would be, maybe.
Sounds like we're moving into deliberations, so should we entertain a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
Yeah, so not so much to deliberate now. I think that it would be, we probably say this, and then 3 years from now, we'll probably be having a similar. But it'd be nice to, at some point in the next 3 years, to discuss, what is the role and what is this relationship and why do we continue to do it? Because, it seems like whatever the original rationale, it's so far in the past that none of us can really own it. So I get asked, do we have charter schools? I say no, and then I say, well, wait a second, we do have the one, and then, but yet, it's had this historical relationship. It has, but to your point, it has served more of the original intent of a charter school rather than becoming, a competitive entity that tries to pull away students from us. So, and they have had a close relationship in terms of students, parents, families. I know lots of families that are in the district now that were at Child Discovery Center. And the parents that are in that school do see themselves as GRPS.
They do.
So.
Yes, and I was going to say that we have continued to develop and nurture that partnership, and it's becoming more of a partnership now, and we're working together on some things, and with Mr. Noel now being much more active in terms of attending the board meetings and things, I think that that it's not the typical charter school district relationship.
Further concerns, questions, opinions, deliberations? Please take the vote.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries.
It is that time of year that we have before us the layoff resolution. Do I have a motion for approval of the layoff resolution?
Motion to approve the layoff resolution.
Support for that?
Support.
Any concerns, discussions? Let's take the vote.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
May I abstain? Because I don't really understand. We're just given a list of people there. No, I can't abstain.
You should ask before, because there's some.
All right,
They could
yes.
ask before, yeah.
Yes, okay, I'll vote
Yeah,
yes.
just make sure when you get your packet, if you have questions leading into it, to ask. Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Thank you. Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next on the agenda is the purchasing agenda. Do I have a motion for approval of the purchasing agenda?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
Any concerns, deliberations? Take the vote.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And we also have the bond agenda, purchasing agenda for approval. Motion for approval.
Motion to approve the bond agenda.
Support.
See no questions, concerns?
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries.
So, Ms. Shotke, do you want to introduce each of these?
I would love to. All right, our first policy tonight is Bylaw 1020. This is the second reading and final adoption. As you may recall, we pulled this back to a first reading at the last Board of Ed meeting as we wanted to reflect the two-thirds majority vote needed for a bylaw suspension to keep that consistent throughout that policy. So this is the second reading.
Motion to support bylaw 1020. Second reading.
Support.
Call the vote.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, bylaw 1030, elections and membership. This is a first reading. In this policy, we have clarified the election process and eligibility and consolidated what was a one-sentence policy on compensation into this policy. So basic cleanup with this one.
Motion to support bylaw 1030.
Support.
Call the vote.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next is bylaw 1160, new member orientation, first reading. In this policy, we reordered the language a bit for better flow to make a distinction between newly elected members and members who have been sworn in, that sort of window between the two.
Motion to support bylaw 1160.
Support.
All right, Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries. All right. Bylaw 1162, Board Member Development Opportunities, first reading. In this policy, you'll see now there's a reference to Policy 1168, which outlines reimbursement for board development. We made some clarifications as to who will prepare a calendar for board conferences and workshops, so that's now the board president and the secretary assigned to the board, rather than the board secretary. And we also clarified that the board president will authorize requests for members to attend these conferences and meetings within the budgeted allotment.
Motion to approve 1162.
Support.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis? Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries. Policy 1168, reimbursement of expenses.
that, didn't we?
No, this is the follow-up, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Probably want to reference that policy.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, in this one, we are stating that board members will receive reimbursement for board-approved workshops and conferences and other official business in accordance with the rate of reimbursement for district employees. So it was that last part that was included, other official business.
Motion to approve policy 1168.
Support.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, bylaw 1300, meetings, first reading. We cleaned up the language to keep wording consistent and relevant to how we currently reference this building, the administration building, and then added specifics as to when our information work and study sessions should take place.
Motion support bylaw 1300.
Support.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries. Bylaw 1310, closed sessions, first reading. We added language that it requires 2/3 vote for us to move into closed session. And then in previous policy, there were details about how we move or why we move into closed session in the footnote, so we just brought those up into the policy to make that more clear.
Motion for approval of first reading, anyone?
So moved.
Support.
That was 1310, right?
1310, yes. All right, Ms. Slade.
Yes.
Dr. Baker.
Yes.
Dr. Flores.
Yes.
Ms. Grant.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Reverend Matthias.
Yes.
Mr. Ross.
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub.
Yes.
Motion carries. Almost there. All right, policy, or bylaw 1370, public participation, first reading. We added language in this policy to accommodate for translation during public comment with up to an additional 3 minutes.
So moved.
Support.
Ms. Slade.
Yes.
Dr. Baker.
Yes.
Dr. Flores.
Yes.
Ms. Grant.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Reverend Matthias.
Yes.
Mr. Ross.
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub.
Yes.
Motion carries. And last, we just need a motion to eliminate and incorporate bylaw 1167, compensation, and 1175, vacancies in office.
And is that because they were incorporated?
They were included into other policies, that's correct.
So moved.
Support.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matthias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross? Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries.
That was almost as much fun as the meeting itself.
I thought so, too. I was going to add that.
We don't go that quick, though.
Yeah, it was just shorter.
I think we skipped 1300.
No, we did
We
1300.
didn't.
Yeah, we did.
We articulated it was 1,300 after the fact.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Thank you, Ms. Pitt.
That sounds
for-
like a fun committee.
It was a great.
It gets lively.
It's still
I'm the
ongoing.
committee
When do we get a
historian.
chance to be on it, you know?
I'm the committee historian.
Had a lot done.
Do I have a motion for approval of the consent agenda grouping?
Support.
Let's take the vote.
Ms. Slade?
Yes.
Dr. Baker?
Yes.
Dr. Flores?
Yes.
Ms. Grant?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Reverend Matias?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Ms. Shotke, yes. President Faub?
Yes.
Motion carries.
It is that time of year that we need to consider renewal of the MASB membership. Any thoughts on that? I think it's a fantastic organization. They do a lot in terms of advocacy and board membership training. Any?
Yeah, we certainly rely on them.
We do.
when we really need to rely
We
on
do.
somebody.
I see consensus, so renewal is in order. The superintendent and I have talked about reviewing the overall budget for the board at the retreat this summer. And so we can kind of see where it's been, where it's at, and maybe make some decisions about prioritizing and what that should look like going forward. But just thought about it in relationship to this membership, because I know it's one of the more expensive budgetary items, right? Public comment for non-agenda items.
I see none.
Superintendent's comments.
I would like to just remind everyone, this is our graduation season, so to really thank the teachers and our parents and our students for such a wonderful year. This is always a fun time in the district for us to celebrate all that our students have done with the help of our staff and our parents, and so looking forward to this week.
Reverend Matias?
Yeah, really exciting to be in the graduation season. I was just looking at the schedule and saw some old faces and names, and so it's really exciting to, and part of the honor of serving on the board to do that. It just seems like this year we're going to have a good number of our students who have graduated and pushed through, and that's going to be exciting for our families. So, thank you.
No comment.
No comment.
Comment.
I just want to say thanks to everyone that was recognized this evening. I will stand up and sit down all night long to say thank you to our teachers and our staff.
And our superintendent.
And our superintendent, absolutely. 42 years of service. Thank you for your loyalty to GRPS, not just to the institution, which of course matters, but your loyalty to our kids and to our city. It really matters, so thank you.
Well, this is my week of nostalgia. So anyway, tomorrow night, my daughter is graduating from City High School. On Saturday, we had her open house, and I was really happy that, we talk about the village that raises our children, and there was a moment where I recognized that the village was GRPS, and so in my backyard was my daughter's preschool teacher, her 11th and 12th, 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th math teachers, the superintendent, other board members, Dr. Gorman. But when my daughter was 4, I went, when I didn't know much about what it took to be a parent, and certainly not much about schools, I went to a parent-teacher conference, and at this conference there was a parapro who taught me how to respond and encourage my daughter's education as she was growing up. And I remember that to the day, this wonderful woman said to me that we're teaching them to apply abstract ideas to concrete thoughts. So encourage them to consider that, don't correct their spelling or their letters. And that person was able to teach me how to be a parent and how to be, help my daughter to grow up to be the special woman that she became. And it is really pretty fantastic that that woman is sitting back, Miss Frankie Scott is sitting up there, and it was Such a special moment to see you sitting there tonight and recognize the thing. And so it seems like it was just a couple of years ago, Scott, but anyway. And so my children grew up in this village, and I really appreciate all the people that have been a part of it, and everybody here has been. So that's what I have to say. Thanks.
That's nice, Dr. Baker.
Well, I have to follow that. My daughter also had Miss Scott in Montessori in Miss Jane's class. So as a very young parent, I was very fortunate to have two amazing teachers for my daughter. So thank you so much for your service. And I echo what Jen said. Thank you to everyone who has dedicated their life. 40 years, 40 plus years is a very long time. And thank you to our superintendent. So yes, I'm proud to be a part of this village.
Nice, Christopher.
Yeah, I just want to re-echo my praise to Ms. Scott, looking after both my boys, 6 years. You had a huge influence on them. Yeah. Love GRPS.
I know I had my turn, but she
Yeah.
had
Look at you, look at
Like
those,
she had
look at
to
that.
raise some board
No,
members,
more
too.
than that up here. You raised our baby.
Awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to graduations. Thanks to everybody for all their work for that. Be a wonderful celebration. All right, meeting adjourned.